So today we are going to be reacting to Rachel Demita's power rankings. We're going to be reacting to her WNBA power rankings here, and it is from the Courtside Club Twitter page. So we're going to be reacting, and I am going to give my opinions on every single one of her placements. First of all, I cannot stress this enough. The Connecticut Sun are not going to be the worst team in the WNBA. Like, I don't think people understand how bad the Portland Fire are. The Portland Fire have one player who I believe is capable on any team of averaging double-digit points, and it's Carla Light. She's not coming over till June. The Portland Fire are just letting Iana Martin chill this offseason. They were like, you played a full year in Spain. We're just going to let you chill. And I'm guessing Iana Martin probably goes and plays Project B next year. They'll probably buy out her contract, to be honest. But she'll probably go play Project B and be ready to come over next year. But their draft pick's not coming over. Frida Booner, who was their second draft pick they took, isn't coming over initially. Her season in Spain goes on till I think the 20-something. It could go on till May. So she might miss the start of the season. And she's coming over on a developmental contract till they get her up to scratch. Their best offensive player, I kid you not, might be Shug Sutton or Carly Samuelson. If Carly Samuelson's healthy, she is their best scorer. Their max contract has gone to Bridget Carlton. And this is a team who has positioned themselves to take a bunch of bad contracts. So what they're going to do is they got $2.5 million in cap space. Is that, let's just say Jess Shepard's stinking it up and she's only averaging 5 points per game or something, and she's stinking up for $1 million. The Portland Fire are going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll take Jess Shepard, but you're giving us a first-round pick. You're giving us Vegas' first-round pick and your 2028 first-round pick, and we'll take Jess Shepard off your hands. They are in a position where they're an Oklahoma City Thunder. They can just take bad contracts off teams. If a team wants to make a trade and they can't match numbers, they can be a third team in a trade, and they can just take a bad contract and randomly get 2 second-round picks, first-round pick. They're positioning themselves to take bad contracts. The Connecticut or the Portland Fire, they might not win five games. They might lose 40. They are terrible. The Connecticut Sun are all right. The Connecticut Sun have one of the most deadly backcourts in the WNBA. In Sanaya Rivers and Layla Khan. They are the best defensive backcourt in the W. And they're the fastest backcourt in the W. Layla Khan is ridiculously good. She is in a redraft of 2024. We all know Caitlin goes number 1, and there's a debate for who goes 2 between Layla Khan and Angel Reese. That is how good Layla Khan is. But you've now got that Sun team is, even with Brittany Griner alone, they're going to be a lot better than a team trying to lose in Portland. Seattle at 13. I don't really understand Seattle being at 13 and not a little bit lower, because unless if they could start Awafam at the 3, it's hilarious. Awafam's not going to play too much minutes as a rookie. Flaw J is probably going to be their player that they run everything through. Everything's going to be going through a Flaw J Johnson, who had a poor senior season. They're paying Steph Dolson good money for some reason. I have no idea what the Storm are doing, but the Storm, I think, are going to be worse than the Connecticut Sun. Toronto Tempo at 12. I think this team is way better than people give them credit for. Julie Alamond is one of the statistically most impactful point guards in the league. If you look at her impact on both ends of the floor, what she does, Julie Alamond is a top 6 point guard in the W. In terms of, it's funny, if you look at advanced metrics, she's better than Chelsea Gray. I can't remember, last year, it's Caitlin, Skylar Diggins. And statistically, she was better than Caitlin last year. But I think it was Skylar Diggins. There was one or two. There was only a couple that were statistically better than Julie Alamont, who by the way, like the Sparks had 1 win or 2 wins before she came over last year. Like the Sparks were down with the Connecticut Sun. They were behind. Like the Dallas Wings were headed at LA Sparks when Julie Alamon came over, and they nearly made the playoffs. She's one of the best point guards in the league. So you've got her, and you've got Sykes and Mabry, who with a true point guard, with those two, they could be very, very effective. Temmie's pretty good, and then the Tempo have like Kiki Rice coming off the bench, who could be okay. Like they will be genuinely good. They'll genuinely be a good team. The Washington Mystics. Now, I think the Washington Mystics are trying to lose. The Washington Mystics cannot win more than 10 games and still be in the Juju Watkins sweepstakes. The Washington Mystics are going to win at most 10 games this year. And people are going to be like, what? They're going to win way more than 10. No, I'm telling you, they are trying to lose. Their entire team can't shoot. And some people are like, oh, what about Georgia Amore? Georgia Amore shoots 30% from 3. She's 5'6". She can't guard anyone. Like, Georgia Amore is, and coming off an ACL tear. Like, they are trying to lose. They are trying to lose. Like, could you imagine Lauren Betts? Like, Lauren Betts has no spacing coming off the bench. The Washington Mystics are worse this season than they were last season on paper. Yes, Lauren Betts is an upgrade, but they got rid of half of their depth. They got rid of their guards. They're a team of kids, to be honest. And do you want to know what they ended last season? 2-14 through their last 16 games. They were 14-14 to start the year through 28 games, and they went 2-14 to end the season. This is a team trying to lose. No one will say it differently. This is a team trying to lose. Why? Because they're trying to get into Juju Watkins sweepstakes. Because if you add Juju Watkins to that team and you have infinite cap space, you trade Shakira Austin, and suddenly you have Betts, Juju, Kiki, and Citron on rookie deals, and you have the cap space to bring in 3 max contract players. Like, they're smart. They are smart. The Washington Mystics, if they tank it out this season, could have a championship win. It could have a championship level team if they tank it out this year. If they do not tank it out this year, they're going to be in mid-table mediocrity. The Lynx are going to be way better than 10th. Dorka Juhas has just come back winning MVP in EuroLeague. She probably would have started regardless, even if they were running it back. She might have started over Alana Smith. Fee apparently is about to come back very soon. They still kept Courtney Williams. They still kept Kayla McBride. Like Hyde, I don't rate Heidemann that highly. Or Olivia Miles is in. Nia Coffey's a decent signing. She can shoot the ball. Emma Chekova is a very nice young backup to have. They recruit as a team that recruits well on the margins. They also have the best coach in the league and still have 3 All-Stars. This is a team that's absolutely going to be in the playoff hunt. Assuming, like, unless Fee's out for the season, they're going to be in that. The Dallas Wings at 9. I don't think the Dallas Wings are even close to being better than the Lynx, to be honest. Paige, like, they don't like their current best quote unquote point guard on their team, on their entire roster, like, is Odyssey Sims, who is a ball dominant player who doesn't play well when they're not allowed to dominate the ball. Their only non-ball dominant guard, or like ball dominant guard that can facilitate, is Grace Berger. Like, that's not good. And they might cut her. That's not good. This is a terribly structured team. And it's a team not structured for Paige's strengths. The Mercury 8th is way too low, coming off a finals trip, and they did not regress. Like, I understand they lost Satu Sabali, but they were way better last season before Kalia Carver came back from injury. Why? Because they were better with a big 2. They were better with a big 2. It didn't matter who the 2 were. They were better with a big 2. And he's going to get Kalia Carver more touches. Dewana Bonner can do what Satu did for them last year. Valua Yayi can do what Satu did for them last year. And they still have Natasha Mack. They still have Kat Westbeld. They're going to be good. The Valks at 7. Same team as last year, basically. You lose Carla Late. You bring over Jacite. Kind of like Jacite's better. And you bring in Gabby Williams. I'm okay with 7. 6 for the Sky. I'm okay with that. I think the Sky actually put together a really good team this year. 5, the Sparks. I don't know. Sparks I could see finishing 3rd or missing the playoffs. They're old. They don't have a point guard. I don't know what the Sparks are going to be, to be honest. The Dream in fourth. There is no way. If this is for titles, okay. But if we're talking about regular season, which is what power rankings are, the Dream are not worse than the Fever. Here, not worse than the Fever. The Fever in third. The Fever will not finish top three in the regular season. I still do. In terms of title odds, I'll give the Fever third. I think that's fair. I think the Fever have a better chance of winning than Moneyball. We're chucking 42 threes a game in Atlanta. But like in the regular season, getting them threes up is going to win it for the Dream. With the Fever, yeah, in third, I think they're a distant third, but fair enough. Ace is second. Oh, anyone who has the Aces first after what the Liberty did, crazy. The Aces running it back, except they added Kennedy Carter. They added one of the best players in the league. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one for anyone to stop a repeat of the 2023 finals, but you just never know. Everyone's assumed it was going to be Aces Liberty in 2024, and the Aces stunk it up that regular season. So you just never know. You never know. But the Aces 2, Liberty 1. Liberty have the Avengers. Fair enough. So to be honest, I don't mind the top five. If it was regular season, I would flip the Dream and the Fever. But one of the things is like there is no way in hell the Seattle or the Connecticut Sun finish last. There is no way in hell the Connecticut Sun finish with less wins than the Portland Fire. The Portland Fire are probably going to be the worst WNBA team in history.